G'day everyone, welcome to the very last video, except for the flip video I'm sure, but the last video where I'll be making my Paris and London travel journal. I have almost a complete journal and I have a whole bunch in here that's done, but there's lots of gaps in here and everything. Look, I've almost got 2 complete travel journals and I have so many bits and pieces still laying around, and the last few days to get in this journal, and I just want to do it all in one fell swoop and perhaps finish it all. I might just off camera journal some things in there, some older memories. I'm not quite sure, but my intention is to pick this thing off, whatever this is. Seems to be stuck on. My intention is to get the rest of everything from my little box of goodies into the journal. I have lots of little bits and pieces that didn't make it into other spreads, tons of photos, especially from our last couple of days at Disneyland, this restaurant that we went to a bunch of times. I will show you the vlog of those last few days, including going to the airport and coming back home. I know, so sad. I'll show you the whole vlog. There's a little recap at the end of kind of the whole trip, just like little snippets of fun memories, and then I'll be back and I will voice over and chat to you about some of those final experiences when I put the rest of this journal together. So you'll see that after this little vlog that we'll watch right now.
Live your life within the moment, and don't go wait until the morning. You never know when it is over. All that I know is we'll get older. So let us dance this night away. Our bodies move to the groove and the light that flickers. We get lost in the crowd, it's getting thicker. We get away from the drinks and chatter. Haven't said a word, but it doesn't matter. Feel the air get thinner. Standing in a blurry dream. No one else can see us. Live your life within the moment, and don't go wait until the morning. You never know when it is over. All that I know is we'll get older. So let us dance this night away. Feel the air get thinner. I'm standing in a blurry dream. No one else can see us. So let us dance this night away.
G'day everyone, hello. I'm here to chat to you real time and live react to what I'm doing. I've actually cut a whole bunch of this out because it was probably the least creative session I've had in this. It's such a sad way to end the whole series, I was honest. It's the least creative session I feel like I've had in this whole journal, mainly because I was just tying up all loose ends, and a lot of what I've already documented, we're kind of repeating now, because we had a few days at the end where we just went back to Disneyland Paris and went back to the same restaurants that we were already eating at. Like we were very familiar at that point with the local local area, and we're just kind of repeating things. I'm a creature of habit, so I'm not surprised, but if you can hear my dryer in the background, sorry, real life still happens. Can you believe? So I put all my photos in first because that's everything I really wanted to get in there. There were only a handful of kind of like junky items that I didn't actually use, and that was kind of impressive considering the amount of stuff that I brought back from the trip. And it was mostly just packaging from like a few pens and a glue stick that I bought, which I'm such a hoarder, I won't actually throw it away. I'm just going to put it in my other journal. This one was pretty chunky by the time that I finished, so I couldn't really add anything too substantial to this journal. I probably could have put it in the other one. And for just so that you like get a good understanding of what you're going to see by the end of this, it's not actually fully finished. I'm going to put all my journaling in and do my little bits and pieces of writing, or any other kind of like whatever happens to finish it all up off camera. And the next time you see this, I'll actually flip through it and do a chatty flip. I usually do a chatty flip and a music only flip. No one really likes the music only flips, but sometimes people watch those, so I don't know. They're just quicker. It's an easier way to actually see the journal, because when I chat, I swear they're always at least 45 minutes long. And in my head, I feel like I've just barely glanced at anything. I feel like I haven't even gone into detail with anything. So I usually do both of those, and I'll get a flip up for you when it's finished, because this is the last video in the series working on the journal, just because it's incidental. All the like little bits of writing, it becomes so repetitive. So just imagine that in your head if you really feel like you're missing out on that. I'll just let you know that these are lots of Disneyland stuff. I put those 3 tickets in because I had those left. They became kind of a nice little background. All of the things that kind of fit together, I tried to put together. So I had old illustrations that reminded me of Steve, his barbershop thing, and so I put that next to the photo of that. And then there was a mirror that had a barbershop mustache thing, so I put those there. But then there were just some things that didn't really have anywhere specific to be. We just took so many photos. I love photos and I love having them all in here. And ideally, in a world where I had nothing but free time to just work on journaling, I would have an idea for everything. I think that's kind of like the sad part about just being so passionate about journaling sometimes, is that it actually just kind of feels bad to not do all of the ideas that you've got in your head. Like the little alien, took those photos in the Hollywood Studios park with the claw, and I ended up going back because I knew in my head as I put it down, I was like, I have a little sticker that I did from Virtual Voyage that I want to put in here. But reality, like I could just do a whole spread on that, and I could just do a whole spread for absolutely everything that's in here. It just isn't. It's not the most economical use of time sometimes, and I put it all down to the fact that in all the other episodes, if you've watched so far, I really did hone in on like very specific experiences and days, and I feel like I did a really, really creative job documenting, like especially that Harry Potter thing with the flying car in the howler. Like I felt like, you know, I've done a lot of impressive, good creative spreads in here. Let me just go normal for a second. Because I want to, like, if you've done my Memory to Memento course, you'll know that like these travel journals they become a part of like the souvenir of the trip. For me, they become a memento from the trip, because a lot of the stuff that's in there was stuff that I collected on the way, but then all the photos are just incredible triggers for all the good memories that I had, and then all of the writing hopefully is just, you know, it fills in all the little nuanced blanks that I might have from things that I've forgotten, which ironically trying to put that in almost a year later doesn't serve the same purpose. And I didn't take a little journal to jot it all down in this time like I did with Japan, so I do think I've missed some cute little memories in here, but it's okay. I also have my videos too, so if you've seen the vlog, no, we didn't do a Paris vlog, did we? It's all in here. Yeah, you've seen them all in here, but those also trigger great memories, and then you know, the rest just exists, I guess, somewhere in my subconscious. But I love to look through these. I love to flip back through them. I mean, the parts that I love most about this journal really are all the fashion stuff from the Dior experience that we went to. I loved going to the Harry Potter thing. I loved the shows that we went and saw. And of course, I loved going to Disneyland Paris, which is funny because I just never thought I would really enjoy going. When I grew up, it was kind of like Paris and Hong Kong were the parks that didn't seem to have as much... people didn't seem to desire to go there as much as they seemed to desire to go to Walt Disney World or to go to Tokyo Disneyland. And even nowadays, like sometimes I still carry that thought in my head that like, oh yeah, and even it used to be called Euro Disney, right? Yeah. So people used to say like, oh, Euro Disney is small and whatever, but now they have some of the best entertainment there. I mean, the food is a little like whatever, but obviously France has enough other places to get great food from. But yeah, I had a great time. And I don't know if I mentioned this already, but really the reason, this is all my Collage Club stuff here. I just went through and got a whole bunch of images that I felt like could work with all the spreads I already knew were in the journal. Even if I didn't think they'd fit, I was like, I'm pulling it all out because this is why I do the Collage Club, is so that I can supplement with all of these gorgeous illustrations. So I actually took them all out and they're all adhesive backed, and I stuck them all along the edge of my desk so I could just pick them off and like put them in. So that's what you'll see here. But yeah, the whole reason that I really went to Paris and London was to go to Disneyland to see a show there called Dream and Shine Brighter, which you'll see a bunch of clips in all of the vlogs from when we went there, because I tried to see it, I guess, every single time it went out. I'm a bit of a fangirl for that show, honestly. I've never been, I mean, I love lots of Disney entertainment. It's what I love the most, but I've never been like a show groupie for any particular thing. Things that I've like danced in before, obviously I have a really special connection to those shows, but yeah, for all intents and purposes, I like fanned out and geeked out a little bit. And when I first saw it on YouTube, like I was actually in a just way TMI, but I was in like a really dark place, just really depressed about not having danced for so long. And it was the catalyst for a whole bunch of thoughts that led me to, you know, really just make this drastic decision and say like, Steve, I've just never been moved like this, and I just need to go and see it. Like I have to go and see it. I don't know why I feel so stupid, because it's just a Disney show and it's like a little castle thing, but when I went there, I mean, I was so overwhelmed, and it really was the reason that we went. Obviously, you don't just go over there for one thing, so we tried to pack in as much else as we could for the short time that we were there, but that was the primary reason for even deciding to go. Like I'm not really a big, I wouldn't say I'm not a big travel person. I have traveled to many places, but I like to travel to the same place. I either like to go back to Australia or go to Japan. Like those are the two places I'll go, or on a cruise ship. So just to pick up and go to Europe for no real reason except to see a Disney show was just very out of character for me. Nowadays, anyway. I think back in the day I was a little bit crazier, but yeah. So that is kind of the lasting memory I have of the trip. And when I think about like what it was like to go, that's one of the things that I remember, and was very happy to have experienced. The Disneyland Pride thing was super fun too, but for all intents and purposes, because I love that saying, I just really wanted to see it. I really wanted to go and experience it, and I'm really glad that we did. I will talk about more of everything in the journal in the final flips, but this is just a quick look at it before I go. I hope you had a wonderful time watching the entire journal come together and watching that creative process of me making my little Paris, London 2022 memento journal. And yeah, next time you see it, hopefully it'll be all nice and finished. Until then, bye.